Hello viewers, Assalamu alaikum. You are welcome to eSchool, an online platform of academic English. Today I am going to discuss you Linguistics-1 language. Hope you will remain with me till the end. Let us start our discussion. First, we are going to discuss what is language. Language is a system of spoken or written symbols by means of which human beings as a member of a society communicate. In other words, language is a medium by which human beings communicate. First, we need to understand what is language. Actually, language is a medium of communication. Behind the origin of language is nothing but communication among the human beings. A human being, to express himself or herself or to communicate with others, he must need a language as a medium. So, we see language is introduced. So, behind the origin of language is nothing but communication. So, the main point here is language is a medium of communication. Then we are going to discuss characteristics or features of human language. There are many characteristics and features of human language. Let us start our discussion here. First characteristic is verbal and vocal, then social phenomenon, then non-instinctive arbitrary language for human, unique, displacement, discreteness, duality, semantic, structurally dependent and systematic, productivity, cultural transmissions. We see all of them are the characteristic of a human language. Now we are going to discuss them. First, verbal and vocal. The first and most important characteristic of a language, of a natural language, is its being verbal and vocal. Let us read it. Language is an organization of words and vocal symbols, the sounds produced from the mouth with the help of various organs of speech to convey some meaningful messages. It means speech is primary to writing. There are several languages in the world which have no writing systems, yet they are languages because they are spoken. Here we see language must be verbal and vocal. Language is verbal and vocal as it originates from the vocal cord. Many languages of the world don't have writing symbols, yet they are languages and they are alive because the languages are verbal and vocal. So, an important characteristic of a language is its being verbal and vocal. Then we go next. Social phenomena. Language exists in a society. It is a means of nourishing and developing human relations. We are not born with an instinct to learn a particular language, but we acquire it as a member of a society. What social phenomena means? See, actually language is attached to human society. As language is used in society by its member to communicate one another. So here language is deeply attached to society, and so language exists in society. Then non-instinctive. Another important characteristic of a language is its being non-instinctive. Language is non-instinctive because it is acquired by human beings. Nobody gets a language in heritage, but he acquires it. Here see, instinctive means innate, the thing we get from our birth. But here non-instinct means not innate. Here non-instinctive means we do not get a language with our birth. It is not got like any other paternal or family properties, but a man acquires a language through its use in family, society and culture. So here we see language is non-instinctive. Then go next. Another important characteristic of a natural language is its being arbitrary. What arbitrary means? First we go to our writing. It means that there is no natural connection between linguistic form and its meaning. For instance, there is no natural relation between the word God and what the word designate or names. Similarly, there is no reason why the four-legged domestic animal should be called dog in English and kukur in Bengali. Here we see arbitrary is actually mean there is no natural connection between linguistic form and its meaning. Here we see the form of a word does not describe its meaning, and there is no reason why we identify anything, any creature with a different name. Here see, in English we called a four-legged domestic animal dog, but in Bengali kukur. We don't know. There is no natural connection, natural reason why the English called it dog, why the Bengali called it kukur. There is no natural connection or there no reason. That is arbitrary. Another important characteristic of a natural language is language for human. Language is only for human. No species other than human is endowed with language. Animals cannot acquire human language due to its complex structure and their physical adequacies. Here we see language is only for human. No human other than man can acquire it. Only human have the power, the brain, the physical adequacy to acquire a language. So language is only for human. Beside, we see the animal cannot acquire human language because they don't have the brain required for learning or acquiring a language. Moreover, their physical inadequacies are the bars to acquire a language. So, language is only for human, not for any other animal or so on. Then we go to next. Unique. What unique or uniqueness mean? See, despite common features and language universals, each language has peculiarities and distinct features. We know every language. We can say all the human language, all the natural language has some common to share. Yet, one language is different from another one. So, we can say language is unique. Despite common features, every language is unique and different from another one. Displacement. Displacement in language means that human language can refer to past and future time and to other locations. For example, I studied linguistics in London when I was in 20s. Here, this characteristic means with the help of a language, human beings can tell one another about the past experiences and also their future plans. But no animal can do it. No animal can tell one another what they have experienced in the past or what are the future plans of them. So, another important characteristic of a language is displacement. Then, discreteness. The sounds used in a language are meaningfully distinct. Pack, bag, pin, bin. Differences in pronunciation between P and B sound leads to a difference in meaning. Here, discreteness mean the sounds used in a language are meaningfully distinct, discrete, different. For example, see, pack and bag. The first word we sounds P, second B, and so as the sounds are different, so the meaning also different. Then we go to our next characteristic, duality. Duality means that language is organized on two levels. Physical level, at which we produce individual sounds, N, B, I, for example, and meaning level, when we produce sounds in combination, for example, nip, bin. Here we see language is organized on two levels. First one is physical level, second one is meaning level. In physical level, we usually produce individual sounds only, and they don't mean anything. For example, N, no meaning, B, no meaning, I, no meaning. Their physical level. But in their combination, or in second, we can say in meaning level, the combination of the sounds means something. For example, we see bean, bean and nip. That means those words mean something. They have a meaning. So we can say the language is organized on two levels: physical level and meaning level. In physical level there is no meaning, but in second level, meaning level, when a word or a sound produced means something. Then semantic. Language carries meaning. All words, phrase and sentences have meaning. We know all words, phrases and sentences have meanings. With the help with this meaning, we can know if any sounds does not mean anything, it cannot be a word or a phrase. For example, I say ooh, heh. Here see, I have produced two sounds, but they don't mean anything because they are not word. So they are not a component of language also. So we can say semantic means the words mean all words or phrases or sentences that have a different or a meaning. Then structurally dependent or systematic. Language depends on structure. It means that language has some synthetic rules to produce structurally correct sentences. All languages have phonological and grammatical systems. Here we can notice that no language is out of structure. Every language must follow a system, a structure, without which language is meaningless. The words, the sentences or phrases will be meaningless. Then productivity. In linguistics, productivity also known as open-endedness or creativity. Productivity means the limitless ability to say new things. Humans are capable of creating new expressions for new objects. Here productivity actually means a speaker's ability to combine the basic linguistic units to form an infinite set of well-formed grammatical sentences, and most of which are novel, never produced or heard before. See, we can say something in a way, other one can say it in a different way. Means we can produce new sentences for new circumstances, and we can produce sounds and sentences in a different way from anyone else. Then our last characteristic is cultural transmission. We acquire language with other speakers, not from paternal genes. The first language is acquired in a culture. Here we see We don't get a language from our paternal genes. We actually acquire a language in a society, in a culture. So, cultural transmission is another important characteristic of a human language, or we can say natural languages. Now we are going to discuss some terms related to language. The terms are related to our classes also, so we are going to discuss them. Sign language. The sign language, which is different from spoken language, is visual gestural systems that are as fully developed and structurally complex as spoken languages. The fact that deaf children learn sign language shows that the ability to hear and produce sounds is not a prerequisite for language learning. Here, see what is sign language. First, we need to know it. Actually, sign language is visual gestures used by the deaf people, as they don't have required organ to produce sounds. With the help of sign language, or we can say gestural system, the deaf children communicate with others. They express themselves. They communicate with others about various problems, various expression, or so on and so on. Then our next term is American Sign Language, or we can say in short ASL. The major language used by deaf people in the United States is American Sign Language. It is a fully developed language that historically is an outgrowth of the sign language used in France and brought to the United States in 1817 by the great educator Thomas Hopkins Gallaudet. Like all human languages, ASL, or we can say American Sign Language, has its own grammar. That grammar encompasses knowledge of the system of gestures equivalent to the phonology of spoken languages, as well as the morphological, synthetic and semantic systems, and a mental lexicon of signs. Here we see American Sign Language is actually the sign language used by the deaf people in the United States. It was first introduced in France, and later it was brought in United States, and that is nothing else. Then we go next term and our last term for the class, language universals. Language universals are a set of principles that are true for all natural languages. For examples, all languages have nouns and verbs, or all spoken languages have vowels and consonants, but not sign languages, to which phonological universal have no relevance. Research in this area of linguistics is closely tied to linguistic typology and intends to reveal information about how the human brain processes languages. The field was largely pioneered by the linguist Joseph Greenberg. Here we see, if you see, you can know what the language universal mean. Actually, language universals mean the common principle or the common features shared by all natural languages. For example, all languages have noun, pronoun, or vowel and consonant, and so on and so on. We see noun, pronoun, vowel, consonant are the element of a language, and those elements are shared by all the natural languages as used in this world. So we can easily say language universals means the common principles or the common characteristics of all the natural languages of the world. It is time to end our class for today. If you like it, please like, comment and share with friends. Allah Hafiz.